Left-handed. Both guys look really fresh at this point if he's going to try to go back there.
I gave you guys instructions. I want to just remind you, please listen and follow my requests at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Fight hard, fight clean. Good luck to both.
The Terence Crawford vs. Canelo Alvarez showdown feels unreal. Catch the biggest highlights from Fight Week and hear the bold predictions made by experts.
Hagler and Leonard and Duran and Tommy Hearns and those kind of fighters, and by the way, Sanchez and Gomez and the great fights from years ago. This is one of those, and you're all a part of it.
They said a fight begins long before the opening bell, in the early mornings when the city still sleeps and two men push their bodies through the steady grind that builds legends. In camp, both Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez were locked into those routines, each team operating in its own world. Crawford's camp looked like a focused transformation as he moved up to face Canelo at super middleweight. He rebuilt his body with a careful weight gain, not just adding size but preserving the speed and accuracy that kept him undefeated. His trainers fine-tuned his strength work and nutrition so the added pounds boosted his power instead of slowing him down. Sparring was done with bigger opponents, and his conditioning was built to maintain the movement that lets him land clean shots and slip away. On the other side, Canelo's camp came across as a lesson in controlled intensity. He put in the standard work, pads, mitts, rounds on the heavy bag, but also added unconventional drills that reflected the instincts sharpened over a long, hard-earned career. He played soccer to keep his feet quick and vision sharp, blending technical drills with flashes that showed he was still an elite athlete at 168 pounds. Both camps dropped teasers and the storyline wrote itself, the precise ring technician against the seasoned champion. But behind the clips and hype, the daily grind looked strikingly similar. Size and history complicated the narrative. Canelo carried weight, championship experience, and the aura of a man who had endured every challenge. Crawford carried an undefeated record, sharp ring IQ, and the drive to chase a dangerous win that could cement his place among the greats. On fight night, the videos and weigh-in chatter would mean nothing. What mattered were the preparations turned into split-second choices, the stamina to push through, and the courage to take and to land punches. That, in the end, is where a fight is truly won. Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. made a bold call ahead of the fight. While many focused on the weight difference with Crawford moving up, Jones Jr. argued it wouldn't matter. He explained that Crawford added muscle the right way, saying, "Terence has been bulking up to the weight just like I did as a heavyweight. If he can handle super middleweights and light heavyweights in training, he can handle them in the fight. The weight shouldn't be an issue." Speaking with The Ring, Jones Jr. admitted that if money were on the line, he'd bet on Crawford, pointing out that the American had far more ways to win than Canelo. He explained, "If Canelo fights the perfect fight, he does have a chance. But Crawford has 6 different ways to beat him. My money goes with the guy who has 6 paths to victory over the one who has just one." Jones Jr. also echoed his thoughts on All the Smoke, where he questioned whether Canelo still carried the same hunger and drive. By contrast, he believed Crawford remained motivated and determined to achieve more, though he stopped short of saying exactly why he doubted Canelo's fire. Crawford entered this fight facing major hurdles, moving up to a new division, shaking off ring rust, and dealing with a tough stylistic test. For the first time, he couldn't simply impose his will and dominate at every turn. That left some questioning if he had already hit his physical peak and whether his most dominant days were behind him. Canelo, on the other hand, came in after a flat unanimous decision win over William Skull, a bout that set CompuBox records for all the wrong reasons due to his lack of offense. While much of the blame fell on Skull, who spent the fight circling to avoid exchanges, Canelo's showing still sparked doubts about his ability to cut off the ring and his motivation at this stage of his career. Still, history shows that doubts like these often surface before defining fights, and many times they prove to be overreactions. To truly build a Hall of Fame legacy, fighters must weather these storms of criticism at least once and emerge stronger. Meanwhile, Jeff Horn gave his take on the Canelo vs. Crawford clash. He remembered how Crawford stopped him in the 9th round back in 2018 to claim his first welterweight world title. Horn predicted Canelo would likely come out fast and try to overwhelm Crawford with size and pressure early. But he also saw a path for Bud to survive that storm, outthink Canelo, and eventually wear him down, possibly finishing him in the later rounds the way he did against Horn. Talking about Crawford's chances of finishing Canelo, he explained that Bud's accuracy could make the difference. If Crawford can survive Canelo's early pressure, that effort might wear Canelo down. From there, Crawford could start finding openings, landing clean shots, and possibly stopping him in the later rounds. It's definitely within reach. Meanwhile, boxing legend and former world champion Andre Ward, known as one of the sport's sharpest analysts, is set to cover the Canelo vs. Crawford showdown for Netflix. Ward has already shared his thoughts on what to expect. On his Instagram last month, he pointed out that one of Canelo's biggest strengths is his ring presence. Even when he's conserving energy, he moves forward with control, which can unsettle opponents and make them feel like they never get a break. Ward also noted that both Crawford and Canelo are puncher boxers, not boxer punchers. While they both have the ability to box, that's not their preferred approach. They want to cause damage. When they choose to box, it's usually to rest, reset, or set up the chance to do what they really aim to do, hurt their opponent. But come September, Andre Ward believes both men will need to fight more like boxer punchers. They can rely on power, but they can't afford to be reckless. In his earlier breakdown, Ward didn't pick a winner. But during an August 29th interview with Fight Hype, he made his stance clear. Ward declared, "I'm going with Terence Crawford. It's a big weight jump and a dangerous fight. But someone has to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out in there. No disrespect to Canelo, but I'm not betting against Crawford right now. You've got to show me that you can beat him." On that same day, Ryan Garcia shared his perspective on Cigar Talk. He said he expected Bud to perform well and land plenty of punches, but he didn't believe Crawford would win. Garcia explained that even if Bud tags Canelo, those shots might not have much impact.
Bud's gonna do good. He's gonna do good, but I don't think he's gonna win. But I do see Bud like getting a lot of punches off, being able to tag Canelo with some good shots, but they have no effect. That's the thing.
He has the best chin that I've ever seen.
And nothing moves his head.
In his final prediction, Ryan Garcia acknowledged Crawford as a great fighter and one of the best in the sport. Still, he felt Crawford may be taking on more than he can handle by stepping up against Canelo.
I just think that he's biting a little bit more than he could chew. But you never know. If anybody can do it, it could be Crawford. You know, I do see him like when he fights. I'm like, damn, how do you beat this guy? You know, he could do it all. He could box. He could bang.
Garcia, who once leaned toward Canelo winning, now seems to be rethinking his position, or at least acknowledging that the challenge is tougher than he first believed. My problem with Canelo is his intensity. He doesn't have the same fire he once had, and I think that's his biggest issue, Garcia said in an interview with The1 Boxing. He added, "Can he still counterpunch? Yes. Can he still be slick? Yes. But does he have the same energy and intensity he showed when he was younger or even when he fought Caleb Plant? For me, it's about whether he can find that second and third gear. That's where Canelo struggles." When Bivol gave him a few extra movements and extra punches, Canelo reacted with awkward defensive moves that left him out of position. That wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss future updates. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and stay tuned. We'll see you in the next one.